Don't mind me. I'm preparing for the new school year by checking my laptops, and I have some work I gotta do. It's fitting I'm doing this video while I'm at work. And no, it was not coincidental. This is very much intentional. I chose not to do this video till I got to my job, because that's actually the main point of this video, the overlining theme of the video. So I hadn't talked about the LeBron James to the 76ers news because of two main reasons. The first reason is I didn't care. If he wasn't going to the Warriors, why would this news be earth-shattering to me? This guy moves all the time. So the news that he moved to another team, it's not that shocking to me, nor do I really give a damn really where he was going to go, unless it was going to go to my team, the Warriors. And secondly, of course he went to the 76ers. This whole notion that, this was planned from the get-go. Like him and Rich Paul can spin their little stupid narratives all they want, saying that it was always the original plan, that he was going to go to the 76ers. And even if that was the original plan, of course he was going to go. He looked at that roster and saw the youth that it had and said, that might be my best chance of winning another title. It only was added... It was an added bonus that they ended up getting Jaylen Brown as he was making that decision. But the thing is, he already had the mindset of going to a stacked team. A team that would give him the best option without him having to try the hardest. And that is literally what the 76ers are for him. They're the best option where he has to try the hardest. There is no expectation for him to do much on that team besides help them, particularly in the playoffs. So regular season, not so much. And I hope you're ready, LeBron and LeBron James fans. Philly fans are not Lakers fans. Philly fans are not Cavalier or Heat fans. Philly fans are vicious. So if you don't play to your standards, particularly when you're one of the greatest players of all time, they will grill your ass every day. They literally booed Joel Embiid in his prime. They booed him. So don't think that this is an easy victory for you, LeBron. I'm just saying. All right. So what does this all have to do with the topic of this video? Well, it's because of the fact that he didn't go to the Golden State Warriors, and once again, my team fails to capitalize on another potentially solid year of Steph Curry. I don't know why this hubris from both Warrior fans and administration, like where we get it from. I get that we were very dominant in the late 2010s, and I get that we have the greatest shooter of all time, but we should not be resting on our we should not be resting on our laurels. That's the word I want to say. This idea that because we're the Warriors, for me, I hate that. I hate it because that's the same mentality of a freaking Laker fan. Oh, we deserve everything because we're the Lakers. Oh, we're the best team because we're the Lakers. That's a Lakers mentality right there. And I don't think Golden State should be having that sort of mentality, because that hubris leads to a great fall. And right now we are literally in the precipice of falling. Because once again, like I said, we strike out on the offseason. We fail to build an adequate team around Steph Curry. And notice I said adequate. I didn't say a great team. I just said an adequate team. Instead, you re-sign a bunch of fucking guys that led us to getting to the 10th seed. And I don't get that notion. Lacob, Where's the logic in that? Run it back to what? The 10th seed again? So you guys can get another pick? And that's the thing. It probably is why they re-signed everybody. Because they do want them to suck. So that they can get another good pick. And maybe grab another, I forget his name, Lindenberg or something? Yaxel Lindenberg. That kid that won the Summer League. And he looks fun. He looks really good. I don't want to say phenomenal. He looks promising. I'll say that. But how many times have we said that? We said that with almost every draft pick we got. Brandon Pajimski looked promising in his first year. Look at him since. Guy refuses to shoot. He dribbles into the lane and dribbles back out because he can't get a good shot, or he refuses to take the shot. Fuck out of here. And there's this discussion going on Twitter, on here, YouTube, where people are starting to say, Steph should request a trade. Steph should leave. And there's some rumors that Steph and the front office are not seeing eye to eye, which I don't think this is the first time they're not seeing eye to eye. I think this is just the first time it's being reported that they're not seeing eye to eye. And in my humble opinion, even though I am a Warriors fan, and more importantly, I am a Steph Curry fan, primarily, I am a Warriors fan because of Steph. And I will remain a Warriors fan no matter what. But at this point, my love for Steph trumps my love for this team. And I would be the one to say I wholeheartedly agree with him prioritizing his accomplishments over doing what's best for the team. Or not even doing what's best for the team, but sticking with the team. This whole thing about loyalty, why is loyalty always a one-way streak in the NBA? Why do players have to be loyal to organizations when organizations are not loyal to players? This has been a tale as old as time and a song as old as rhyme. No organization is loyal to any player if they can make money or to capitalize on an opportunity. No organization. No player is bigger than the organization. They will always prioritize the organization. But to the main point. So in the chatter on Twitter and on YouTube, I was actually watching a Athletic Alchemy video. He's basically the voice of the Warriors on YouTube for me. And, he's basically talking about who's to blame for all of this. And he mentions, well, actually, it's everybody. It's Jacob it's Lacob for not doing anything and not really capitalizing. It's Steve Kerr and Draymond's fault because they kept saying no to all these potentially great players. But also, it's Steph Curry's fault for not being more forceful upon the front office and flexing his star power on them. I get the sentiment, Alchemy, but I've always hated that sentiment. I've always hated it because it's basically telling Steph, not only do you have to do your job, Steph, but you got to go do the front office's job too. You got to do the job of marketing the team. You got to do the job at recruiting the players. You got to do the job of building a roster. And I hate to tie it back to LeBron, but this is one of the main reasons why I don't like the LeBron narratives, and I don't like the discussions that surround LeBron. And what I mean by that is because LeBron in his time in the NBA has done a lot of great, but a lot of damage. One of the damages that he done is this idea that star players need to basically play GM, general manager. That's what it stands for. Because there's that whole meme, Le GM. Oh, it's LeBron demanding that they get AD. Oh, it's LeBron demanding this. It's LeBron demanding that. As if every star player needs to be so demanding of their front office. And look, could they be? Yeah, sure. But Steph Curry comes from the school of Jordan. And when I say the school of Jordan, I mean Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan never once flexed his power on the front office. He told them to do their jobs, yeah, but he never said, okay, I want this player, I want this player. Watch his interviews. He always said, hey, that's the front office's job, and they're going to do their job, and hopefully it all turns out well. Because Jordan understands that there are levels to an organization, and each compartment of that organization has a role to play. His job is player. I am a player. I play to win games, and hopefully my team is good enough to win the championship. That's Jordan's mentality. His mentality wasn't, okay, not only am I going to play great, but I'm going to go and recruit like Charles Barkley. I'm going to go and make sure I make this team look really good. Then I'm going to make sure to put the roster together. That's not his job, and he knew that. Steph comes from that same school of principle. He is a player, and I play. And I play really, really, really good. To the point where hopefully I can carry my team, or at least I have a good supporting cast of a team, to make it to the playoffs, and hell, maybe we can even sniff us finals. That's his whole job. And that leads to the title of this video. Steph Curry does not owe the Golden State Warriors organization a damn thing. He does not owe them a damn thing. But the organization owes him everything. Everything. But Tony, how's that even fair? How could you say one person of a team does not owe that team a thing, but the team owes him everything? I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. What's Steph Curry's main job? Basketball player, right? He's a basketball player that plays basketball. And his goal is to win games, get to the playoffs, hopefully win a championship. That is literally what his position is, and basically what his job application would probably say. That's it. He plays basketball. Now, has he lived up to that expectation? Yes. In fact, he's far exceeded that expectation. Okay? Knowing that, what's an organization's job? Why, it's to find good players, build a competent roster so that these players can all together reach the common goal of winning a championship and hopefully making money on the way there. Steph Curry has kept his part of the bargain. The Warriors organization has not. And let's be real. Let's be fair. Yes, they gambled on Steph Curry with his early knee injuries, his leg injuries, his basically his leg injuries, basically, right? And many people say, well, see, they gambled on him, and doesn't he owe the organization for gambling on him and trusting him and putting their faith in him? You're right. He did owe them. And you know how he paid them back? Their first title in 40 years. 73 wins. A standing record in the NBA to this very day. A golden dynasty that lasted 5 years. And becoming the most profitable franchise in the NBA today. Making more money than the Lakers in merchandise alone. Not only that, he put a cherry on top and won the 2022 NBA Finals, which I must remind people, because I feel like we all forget, happened on the 75th anniversary of the NBA. That's pretty special. So, yeah, they did invest in him, and he did owe them for that investment. But he has paid it back and then some. He paid it back and then some. They invested in him to be a franchise player. Not only did he become a franchise player, not only has he propelled the franchise to new heights that it has never seen, even in its heyday. Even in its heyday in the 70s and that brief stint in the 90s with Run TMC, they have never seen that type of success until Steph Curry showed up. Never. So he's paid back that investment triple, quadruple, in fact, 1 million times over. 1 million times over. Winning them 4 championships and making them the most profitable franchise in the NBA. And I don't want to hear this whole thing where, well, Lacob did this and he put all this money. That's his job! That's his job! This idea that we're giving credit to Lacob because he spends money, that's your job. That's your job. It wasn't Steph Curry's job to propel the franchise to heights it's never seen before. It wasn't Steph Curry's job to change the game and the way that it's played. It wasn't Steph Curry's job to make the Golden State Warriors one of the most successful franchises of all time, winning the 3rd most championships, just behind the Lakers and the Celtics. That wasn't Steph's job. His job was to play basketball and win. And he did it. Joe Lacob does not get credit for spending money. He's the owner. You're going to give credit to a chicken for laying eggs? That's its job. You're going to give credit to a building manager for managing a building? That's his job. That's my thing. We're giving credit to Joe Lacob for doing his job. And here's the thing. He's not even doing it effectively right now. And yet we're still trying to give him credit for past things. At least Steph is still holding up his end of the bargain by playing, by being a good basketball player. Borderline great. He's held his end of the bargain. Where's your end, Lacob? Steph owes nothing to this franchise because he's given the franchise everything, literally. So if he wants to leave, that's his choice, and he's deserved it. He's earned the right to leave. This whole thing that he must remain loyal, that there's no problem being the next Dirk. Dirk was washed after 2013, and he knew it. This is not a Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant scenario. Kobe tore his Achilles and was never the same player. Dirk Nowitzki was never the same player after 2013. Steph is still playing at an all-star high level to the point where he can literally make a run for the title if he wanted to. His longevity rivals that of LeBron. And yet, we're acting as though this is like his golden years, that he's just not the same player. Remind me again, what did he do against Wemby? Not once, but twice. Dropped 40 points on the freaking Western Conference representatives in the NBA Finals two 40-point games. And that was with the weak roster that he had. Imagine if he had a good roster on him. And it brings me to another point. No person owes their job anything outside of doing your job. That's why I waited to do this video in my classroom. Because what do I owe this school? What do I owe my job? To teach. That's what I owe my job. I don't owe them anything more than that. If I choose to do more than that, it's my choice. It's my choice. But they cannot force me to do more than what my application had described. My job description described. My job description is to teach high school students. That's my job. That's my job description. Now, there's some stipulations like, going to these professional developments is part of the job. Okay, well, I go to those. All right, being involved in the school in some way, shape, or form. Well, I help out where I can. But doing the extra stuff, I don't have to do that. I don't. I choose to if I feel like it. And the same applies to Steph. Steph's main job is to play basketball for the Golden State Warriors and help them win games that will hopefully lead to the playoffs, and on a successful run in the playoffs that will lead to the finals, which could lead to a championship. That's the whole point. That's exactly what his job description is. Maybe even to be an ambassador for the Warriors, but I think he's done that very well as well. So yeah. I've given my thoughts on the whole LeBron thing. I've given my thoughts about this idea that Steph Curry is to blame for what's going on with the Warriors. No, Alk. He's not. Not even close. Not even close. And then this idea that he must remain loyal because the franchise invested in him, as if he didn't pay back that investment many years ago already. He owes them nothing. But they owe him everything, and yet they failed to do right by him. And that's terrible. That's terrible. To invest all that time in a corporation, in a company, in an organization that refuses to invest in you. I can't imagine that. I was in a situation just like that a long time ago. I was working for a media company that asked the world of me, but failed to invest in me. You know what happened? I quit. And I don't regret that decision whatsoever. I'm in a better position. I'm succeeding more. My life has been much better and less stressful. And I've made such great relationships that will transcend past whatever I'm doing right now. But I would have never seen any of that success had I stuck around to a dying ship, a sinking ship. That was that media company I'm talking about. Because guess what? That media company doesn't even exist anymore. Because they refuse to invest in the future. They refused to invest in their workers, and a lot of their workers grew dissatisfied with what they were doing, and they left. And they had every right to leave. A company, an organization that does not invest in its employees from top to bottom will fail. And that's the situation the Warriors find themselves in. They are refusing to invest in Steph Curry, talking about investing towards a future that doesn't exist, in players that their potential we don't even know. You want to invest in Will Richards, you want to invest in Yaxel, fine. But they have not proven a damn thing to this organization. And they are riding the coattails of the guy that had proven everything to the organization. And the organization should do right by that guy. And the fact that they haven't done so malpractice, shameful, disrespectful. The arrogance to think that he should just be happy with whatever you guys throw him, and you can't even do your fucking jobs. I'm done.